So his birthday's like within like 2 or 3 weeks of my clean date. So we just call it the same day. So Poncho's 5.5 years old and I'm 5.5 years clean. Right, buddy?
I never knew what being in too deep was. You know, I didn't know I was in too deep until it was all too late. Like that, the spiral of slowly starting to separate myself from friends because of the amount of time that I was dedicating to getting money to pay for my drugs and then trying to find the drugs. It is literally the most addictive substance on the planet. And there are people that do it once or twice and are hooked for years at a time, and I'm a perfect example of that. I found opiates to be very isolating. I turned away completely and entirely from anyone and everyone that was a good influence in my life, not because I didn't want to be around them, but because I didn't want to disappoint them. I was fighting a disease that wants me to feel bad about myself, that wants me to believe that I'm a bad person, so I can stay in these bad places and around these people that don't care about me and only want to see me fail. And unfortunately, whenever you get in deep like that and it becomes an everyday thing, you know, your brain is beginning to hardwire itself to believe that you need those drugs to survive. So you're fighting like the science of the brain at that point. And so in that spiral, as I was beginning to, ramp up my drug use, I started throwing things to the side, such as relationships. It's literally made to do one thing and one thing only, and that's disconnect you from the world. It's then up to you whether or not you can walk away and not go back to it. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to walk away. It took me kicking and screaming, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was actually a sense of relief because I didn't have to worry about trying to find money to be able to get high again. I didn't have to worry about how I was going to disappoint people that day. I didn't have to worry about who I might run into that was a good influence and see that I was in a bad place and have to lie to them. I didn't have to lie at all anymore. I got to a point where my lies literally had grown into a huge web where I had to keep track of a variety of lies to make sure to keep the show going. We live in a world where drug overdose has become more common than car accidents. Someone dies every 8 minutes of a drug overdose in the United States. That equates to a jet airliner crashing every day. Everything that I have in my life right now is because I was able to turn it around and not continue spiraling down the drain. What I wanted when I first walked into detox and into treatment and started getting sober, and what I've got now, night and day different, and 1,000 times better than what I thought I wanted 5 years ago.